The Legend of the Nawuris, The Mystery of the Sky's Chain. In the heart of history lies a place where myths and reality merge, a moment when ordinary lives brush against the extraordinary. Imagine traversing an untouched wilderness, only to encounter something so inexplicably wondrous that it shakes the very fabric of understanding. This is the tale of the Nawuris. Before we delve into this amazing tale, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share. Centuries ago, in the northern reaches of what is now Ghana, the Nawuri people began to root themselves in a land rich with mystery and promise. One day, a lone hunter wandered into the untouched forests of Balai, a place where the trees whispered secrets, and no man had yet claimed the soil. Under the wide open sky, he encountered something so profound, so awe-inspiring, that it would live on not just as a tale, but as the beginning of a legend passed down through generations. The hunter was no stranger to solitude. In fact, he had known it all his life. From a young age, he had walked the forests alone, learning to understand the world in ways only nature could teach. He was a quiet man, not because he had nothing to say, but because the trees, the wind, and the animals spoke a language he had come to respect. His days were spent wandering through the dense woods, moving carefully between towering trees and thick bushes. The forest was like a living book to him, and he had learned to read its pages. He could tell the story of a passing deer just by the pattern of its tracks on the ground, a broken twig, a fresh footprint, or the way birds suddenly took flight. All were signs he understood without needing words. Balai, with its wild beauty and deep silence, was more than just a place to him. It was home. Rich in green, full of life, and untouched by the hands of many, the forest stretched as far as the eye could see. The tall trees stood like old friends, and the undergrowth was thick with secrets. To others, it might have seemed dangerous or unknown, but to the hunter, it was where he felt most alive. He knew the voice of every bird and the rhythm of the wind when a storm was near, the creaks of the old trees as they swayed, the distant calls of animals, and even the soft rustle of leaves underfoot. These were all familiar sounds to him. They comforted him like lullabies do a child. While most people found comfort in towns and company, the hunter found his peace in the stillness of Balai. To him, the forest was not just a place to find food or shelter, it was a world of wonder, full of stories waiting to be discovered. And on one special day, in the heart of that great wilderness, he stumbled upon something so unexpected, so mysterious, that it would change everything, not just for him, but for generations after him. But on this particular journey, as he moved deeper into the ancient forest, something changed. The air grew still, shadows seemed longer, and then he saw it, a glimmer of metal high above, cutting through the sunlight. Before him hung a chain of iron that seemed to descend straight from the heavens. This was no earthly creation. The chain was massive and perfect, its iron links glinting like stars. It stretched endlessly upward, vanishing into the clouds, and hung loose, as if waiting. Yet what struck him most was its stillness. It did not sway in the wind, but hung heavy, grounded in mystery. The hunter's breath caught in his chest. He had seen wild beasts, perilous cliffs, storms that broke the earth, but nothing like this. What force could place such a thing in the heart of untouched wilderness? His very sense of reality wavered. The hunter approached cautiously. Each step forward felt heavier than the last, as if the earth itself was urging him to move slowly. The air around him had changed. It was thicker, quieter, almost sacred. Even the birds had gone silent, as if they too were watching, waiting. His heart beat louder in his chest, not from fear exactly, but from a feeling he couldn't quite explain. It was as if something ancient had awakened. He paused just a few feet away, eyes fixed on the strange object before him. It sat in a small clearing, half covered by moss and thyme, yet it seemed untouched by the forest around it. The sunlight pierced through the canopy above, casting a soft golden glow on it, almost like it had been placed there on purpose, waiting for him. His instincts, sharpened by years of tracking animals and surviving alone, whispered mixed messages. One part of him was drawn to it, curious and eager, sensing a discovery of great importance. But another part warned him to be careful. This was no ordinary find. It held a presence, something he could feel in his bones. He wasn't sure if it was watching him or if he was simply feeling the weight of its mystery. Should he touch it? His fingers hovered in the air, trembling slightly. Was this an offering from the gods? A sign meant for him? Or was it something older, more powerful, something that had been left behind for reasons he could never understand? The questions came faster than the answers. Was it safe? Would it bring blessing or curse? His thoughts swirled like the leaves in the wind, but one thing was certain. This moment was unlike any other in his life. The forest, his oldest companion, now felt like a witness to something greater than them both. And deep inside, the hunter knew whatever happened next would not only shape his destiny, but echo through the stories of his people for generations to come. He stood beneath it, gazing skyward, his mind tangled between fear and wonder. The chain seemed alive in its silence, as if it breathed some ancient secret too vast for human comprehension. In that moment, the hunter felt the weight of being small, merely a man in a world far larger than his knowing. To the Nawuri people, the forest carried life and meaning, bound in harmony with spirits and the unseen. Such a discovery could not be random. Was the chain a pathway for gods descending to earth? Did it mark an invisible border between worlds? The hunter dared not touch it, an act of both reverence and survival. Stories warned of interfering with forces beyond understanding, tales that spoke of souls lost to the wrath of the divine. Shaken, he offered a silent prayer and retreated, vowing to honor the secrets of Belai without trespass. The legend of the Iron Chain became more than a recounting of one man's encounter. It became a pillar of Nawuri heritage. It urged listeners to respect the boundaries between the mortal and the divine, to take nothing in nature for granted. Such stories connect us to our ancestors, their imaginations, fears, and questions. Legends allow us to engage with the intangible mysteries of existence, forces that challenge perception yet feel as real as the ground beneath our feet. The awe of celestial ladders and divine chains echoes far beyond Ghana. From Jacob's ladder in biblical scripture to the rainbow bridge of Norse mythology, humanity has long sought to make sense of the sky's boundless expanse. These universal parallels hint at a collective yearning, a hope to bridge humanity and the divine, earth and the cosmos. Could the Iron Chain be proof of such a bridge, or is it the genius of oral tradition giving life to our deepest shared dreams? In a world dominated by technology and certainty, such stories remind us of the unknown. They preserve the imagination and values of cultures long past, shining a light on how our ancestors connected with the world around them. Losing these tales would mean losing a piece of humanity. Legends are vessels of memory, teaching us to find beauty in life's unanswered questions. Even now, the legend of the Nawuris resonates. It challenges us not only to honor our history, but also to embrace the mysteries that still surround us today. As history enthusiasts, we are the guardians of humanity's collective voice. Whether through research, storytelling, or admiration, each of us has the power to preserve the treasures of cultural heritage. By keeping these stories alive, we honor those who walk before us and inspire those who will follow. The Iron Chain of Belai once beckoned a hunter to question the universe. Today, it calls to you. Explore the stories of your heritage, or those of others near and far. Share these tales, carry them forward, and champion the preservation of cultural memory. The past is waiting for you. Begin your journey. Follow tales of our ancestors for more stories. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.